He missed his run in the Ryanair last year because he wasn't showing himself to be what do what he can do at home, apparently. But hopefully they have a smooth run up until that, and the race he ran at Ascot last year would be the next stepping stone, you would imagine, for top notch. This is the 240 at Kempton Park. Eric LaRouge, we know, doesn't go, and Nico de Boinville takes over on number 3 as well. I think there's another jockey change to add to that as well. Nico de Boinville takes over on Do Pretender, and Sean Bowen has been stood down, so I believe Tom O'Brien takes over on Lord Napier. Eric LaRouge is the non here, we knew that already. Number 1 doesn't go. So betting for the Unibet Lanzarote handicap hurdle looks like this. Cloud Gate 7-2, Do Pretender is 7-1, 8-1 for Lord Napier, 9-1 Darling Multai. Support for Cotswold Way into 10-1 for Philip Hobson, Mikel Nolan, and Mellow Ben also supported 14th into 10. So those are the 2 moves, 12-1 and bigger the rest. But Cloud Gate heads them 7-2.
Yep, the Piranhas are out nibbling at big prices, but this is a horse who I think many would have expected to be at least second favourite, but has taken a notable walk in the market, Darling Molte. Now, we focus on this horse first, Steve, because there was a significant division of opinion about his chance earlier today in the opening part of the Full SP programme.
Yeah, Angus and yourself made a good case for him, and I suppose I was less enthusiastic. But it's really a question of, we'll find out a lot about him. So he bolted up last time at Ascot, and he was ridden cold, really big hold-up ride, came cruising through and won very easily. Now, the handicapper had his say and stuck him up. That wasn't really my concern about him. Is it's different ground and different company, and he won't be able to scythe through them in the manner he did. And whether he'll find as much off the bridle, we'll find out. I mean, I may well be wrong. He might just be an improving horse. The argument for him is that the jockey gets on really well with him. He's really given the horse a lot of confidence, and he won like he had tons in hand last time out. Well, you're smiling.
No, he's a 9-1 shot. Good to see you steaming in on the 9s on shot.
Well, yeah, no, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. You did throw it to me, to be fair.
Let's have a look at Cloudgate. 7-2, Cloudgate. You can see why he's favourite here. He's got a high level of ability on the flat. He was brought along cleverly over hurdles, and he's now found his niche. He's very impressive at Leicester, and he was pretty impressive at Doncaster as well.
Yeah, he's the rightful favourite. He's a 90-rated horse on the flat, so he's still potentially not badly in on 127 over hurdles. He started this year ridiculously well handicapped, and he took advantage with easy wins at Leicester and Doncaster. This is clearly harder, but he'll go in the ground, he'll get the trip, and he might still be ahead of the handicapper.
I think Lord Napier was your idea of the winner. It's a slight drop in class, even if it's a hidden one. Tom O'Brien taking over from the stood down Sean Bowen.
Yeah, the worry will be the ground. He's got some form on good ground. He ran okay a couple of runs ago at Warwick, but bulk of his form is on softer ground. The case for him is I thought he ran well over an inadequate trip last time out in the valuable handicap at Ascot. It used to be called, I can't remember never what it's called now, it used to be called the Ladbroke. And he he stayed on really nicely in the style of a horse who was very much appreciate a return to this sort of distance. So yeah, I thought he had a chance, and I think this is no stronger race for sure.
Do Pretender is looking to give Nicky Henderson a treble. Nico de Boinville taking over from the unwell Noel Feely.
Yeah, the handicap mark, I suppose, worries me. He's definitely progressive. He ran all right in a Grade 2 last time out. I just thought he's given a stiff enough mark for what he's done.
Dan Skelton on the mark at Warwick in the big Grade 2 there, has 2 in this race. Solomon Gray for Bridget Andrews is the most fancied of that pair, and Philip Hobbs, whose tidal flow was bitterly disappointing at Warwick, looks for quick recompense with Cotswold Way, who's been well supported here in the hands of Mihal Nolan, and looks as though he is going to make the running for the 2019 edition of the Unibet Lanzarote Handicap Hurdle. Darling Molte, Lorcan Williams looking to ride him chilly again. Will it work as it did at Ascot? We will find out in the company of Mark Johnson.
So the starter now about to climb the rostrum. At the moment, the field of 14, some way behind the starting point. They're a good furlong away from the start at the moment. But they are now about to be asked to creep forward towards the starting tape. Darling Molte walking forward 14th and last, held up right at the back of the field, even in the walk round by Lorcan Williams, who rode him very, very cold at Ascot to win and pounced late last time out. They're still yet to pass the assistant starter, and when they do, the all clear will be given. Starter now waiting for them. A last check of the watch, and the flag will very shortly be hoisted for the race, which is run in memory of one of the great hurdlers to run around Kempton over the years, the dual Christmas hurdle winner and champion hurdler Lanzarote. Runs in the colours of Lord Howard de Walden, his famous apricot silks. And still about half a furlong away from the start. But now the flag is raised, and they are asked to take the turn. They still have to complete the turn to face up to the starter. They're just about to pass the assistant starter on the ground now. He'll raise his hand to give the all clear, which he does so now. So now we're all set. They're walking in, and they're off for the Unibet Lanzarote Handicap Hurdle of 2019. They have 2 miles and 5 furlongs ahead of them, 10 flights of hurdles to jump, and Darling Molte, as expected, is dropped right out the back of the field as they go towards the first flight. With Cotswold Way quite keen and leading them over the first flight of hurdles. A mistake at the first there by Cloud Gate. Cloud Gate made quite a significant error at flight number 1, and he's now in the back 3 as they go on now towards flight number 2. Cotswold Way is out in front, and the New is racing in second. Canyon City, the spotted jacket, in third, with Do Pretender on the inside of Star of Lanka as they go over the second flight, at which the grey, Solomon Grey, jumped into the front rank, but also jumped right-handed across in front of Theatre Bar, who was slightly inconvenienced. At the moment, Cloudgate, the favourite, is racing last but one, and he only has Darling Molte behind as they make the turn inside the final 2 miles they go. And so it is Cotswold Way, who's keen and has a lead of about a length and a half. And the New is racing in second. And then Do Pretender, the Red Silks, against the inside rail, just in third, with Solomon Grey around the outside and Canyon City between horses. Star of Lanka made the turn, racing in fifth, and in sixth is Lord Napier as they face up towards the next flight of hurdles. Out quite wide is Mill Row, who's racing alongside Theatre Bar. Meanwhile, working towards the inside, the blue colours of Sleep Easy as they go over flight number 3. Next in the field came Mellow Ben, who's racing in the last trio together with Cloudgate, and still chilly at the back of the field is Darling Molte as they race on now towards flight number 4. And the New moves up now on the outside, and the New touches down in front over that fourth flight of hurdles to in second place Cotswold Way, and then Canyon City and Solomon Grey, Star of Lanka, and against the inside rail Do Pretender is racing in sixth, Lord Napier in seventh, Theatre Bar is in eighth, Mill Row is ninth and he's out wide, Sleep Easy is 10th, 11th for Big Time Dancer, and then on the inside is Cloudgate, who's now racing in 12th. In 13th is Mellow Ben, and still 14th and last is Darling Molte as they race on along the side of the course and on towards the halfway point in the 39th running of the Lanzarote Hurdle. And the New and Daryl Jacob have the lead. In second, Canyon City and Bryony Frost. Out a little bit wider is the Grey. In third position, Solomon Grey in the hands of Bridget Andrews. Towards the inside, Cotswold Way and Mihal Nolan as they go over flight number 5. The leader didn't get terribly high, and now the back marker is Cloudgate and was ridden away from that flight of hurdles. They go on now towards the next, and again the leader wasn't fluent, and the New, but now he's beginning to string out the field, and once again Cloudgate is niggled, driven away from that flight for a couple of strides by Jamie Moore, and Cloudgate at the moment is not going the right way through the field. He's absolute last. However, he's less than 10 lengths off the leader, who continues to be And the New with 4 more flights of hurdles to take. And the New by a length and a half. On the inside, Cotswold Way now re-inherits second place. Solomon Grey is a little wider, racing in third, and Canyon City is in fourth. Theatre Bar out very wide, tries to make ground. Do Pretender between horses, then Star of Lanka is on the inside, Sleep Easy. Big Time Dancer is beginning now to check off 1 or 2 rivals, and is beginning to make a bit of a move as Do Pretender flattened that flight of hurdles and made a mistake. Lord Napier is coming under a ride. Theatre Bar is another one being driven. So go to Milrow towards the outside. Now, Darling Molte is just beginning to pass one or two rivals. On his inside is Cloud Gate as they go on now towards the third from home. And the New and Cotswold Way. Those will be the first two. Solomon Gray was over in third. Then Sleep Easy. Canyon City towards the outside. Spot the red and black silks. That's John Joe O'Neill Jr. on Big Time Dancer, who is travelling really well on the heels of that leading group. He is now alongside Star of Lanka as they begin to make the turn back towards home. They've got a half mile to go in the Unibet Lanzarote Hurdle of 2019, and the New has now got a contested lead with Cotswold Way. Around the outside is Solomon Gray back in third. In fourth position, Star of Lanka. Still, the eye is taken by the horse with the white blaze. That is Big Time Dancer, who could have a big say in proceedings. Lord Napier is staying on. Meanwhile, towards the far side now, finally, Cloud Gate is beginning to stay on. Darling Molte bursting through now between horses. On the outside, Mellow Ben is another one who has a chance. Still wide open. A furlong and a half to go. Big Time Dancer strikes, goes for home. Solomon Gray, Lord Napier on the far side. The final flight in the Lanzarote. Big Time Dancer has the lead. Goes on now by 2 lengths. In second is Solomon Gray, and they race up towards the line. It is John Joe O'Neill Jr. and Big Time Dancer, and they hit the big time today. Big Time Dancer wins the Lanzarote. Solomon Gray in second. Lord Napier in third, and in fourth, Star of Lanka.